Some have defined it as a work of art, made by the hand of man. It has been spoken of as a subtle and complex wine, and others have labelled it as magical and fantastic. CAVA is all this and much more. It is about a wine coming from different varieties of grape, from a unique land, from an ideal climate. A wine guaranteed by the work, the dedication and the experience of many generations. It is a special wine, charming. And CAVA is a wine which goes directly from the land to the heart.
CAVA is a unique wine, characteristic, convincing. It is much more than a great wine. Currently, it has become one of the quality sparkling wines best appreciated and recognized in the global market. But this has been the fruit of the efforts by many people through decades of history. For many centuries, our country has been linked with viticulture, the cultivation of the vine and the production of wine. But there is a date which marks a before and after, and which meant a revolution in the sector. 1872 is considered to be the year when the production of sparkling wine began in our lands, learning from the experience of the French Champenois method.
Sansodoni d'Ainoia and the surrounding area were the centre of this incipient expanding industry. At the beginnings of the 20th century, CAVA strengthens in the Spanish market, reaching its great growth in the 60s. 20 years later, it does this at an international level. Today, the CAVA sector is one of the most dynamic and prosperous sectors of viticulture, with a production which exceeds 200 million bottles a year. Currently, and given the success of the product, various Spanish wine-growing areas protected by the Regulatory Council of CAVA produce this type of sparkling wine. We are talking mainly about Catalonia and the small areas located in the provinces of Álava, Badajoz, Rioja, Navarra, Valencia and Zaragoza. Even though the nucleus and the origin are found around Sansodoni d'Ainoia, the production method and the spirit of the tradition have made themselves widespread in various towns of the state. Like this, with different countryside, but with the common denominator of following the same procedure using the same varieties, up to 7 autonomous Spanish communities produce sparkling wine in the same way, by the traditional method.
CAVA is an attractive wine, generous, aromatic. The aroma of CAVA is the aroma of this land, of these vines, and of this grape. It's no secret to affirm that the quality and the differentiated personality of a wine like CAVA began with the vine. The climatology is a fundamental factor to get a good grape, and consequently a good CAVA. In the case of the CAVA region, the hours of sunshine that the fruit receives and the average temperatures mean that the varieties mature in an excellent way. Every now and then, the vine receives strong storms or even sporadic snows which, apart from leaving a beautiful landscape, bring a gradual contribution of water that is positive for the vine. But this event is exceptional. During the winter break, the plant's biological activity stops, and it is in these moments when various treatments begin, such as plowing or pruning. At the beginning of the spring, the vine sprouts, and starting from here, the sap already starts to rise. The vine blossoms and the flowers give way to small fruits. From then on, the plant is at the service of the fruit, which will keep on growing little by little. It is essential that the right meteorological conditions accompany this process. But at the same time, the work of man is also important, which, helped by the latest technological advances in machinery, carries out just the right treatment at every moment to prevent illnesses and to help the vine or get the best result. The grape has to be fully mature to be harvested. This maturation takes place between August and September, and it is rigorously controlled day by day until reaching the optimal moment to be harvested. CAVA is produced starting from several varieties, but there are three main ones. Macabeo is the most grown. It is made up of compact bunches and with a thin skin, which produce a wine with a delicate aroma. Xarel, because of its total acidity and consistency, has a great personality. It is characterized by the thickness of the skin of the grape berry, which makes it resistant to illnesses. Parellada brings a subtle floral aroma. With greenish berries, it is harvested late and is especially desired for its freshness and finesse. In recent years, other varieties have been added to this trilogy, such as Chardonnay, Malvasia, Riojan Malvasia, Pinot Noir, Garnacha, Monastrell, or Trepat. This last one is only authorized to produce pink cava. The harvest takes place from mid-August on, after a rigorous checking process of the grape ripening. The fruit is served. It only needs man, science, and technology to put in the rest. The process of cava production has only just started.
Cava is a charming wine, full, vibrant. A cava is different from other wines. One of the aspects of cava that people are most passionate about, apart from its taste, is its production method. The first step is the production of the base wine, with a soft pressing of the freshly harvested fruit to get the so-called must, the best juice from the grape. Accurate fermentation of this must will give, as a result, a wine with the desired level of alcohol, aromas, colour and quality. Once the winemaking is finished, the technicians determine the proportion of each type of wine that goes into the coupage. The different varieties are blended together to give a wine with its own personality, which will shape the image of the brand and the producer. Although this is the most usual process, single variety cavas are also produced. Yeasts and sugar are added to the wine base because the second fermentation is carried out inside the bottle. Starting from here, one of the most magical processes of cava begins. In the intimacy of the semi-darkness and the silent subterranean cava cellars, the bottles lie down horizontally. In total rest and at a constant temperature of 15 degrees, the yeasts calmly transform the sugar into alcohol and at the same time create the magic bubbles. The cava ages for a minimum period of 9 months in these underground galleries. The small bubbles, produced after the second fermentation, are dissolved in the wine and keep forming its characteristic taste and aroma. In short, what is known as a bouquet. The miracle has been produced. Once the second fermentation and aging have finished, which can be extended according to the type of cava that you want to get, you have to get rid of the remains of the yeast which have added sediment to the bottle. By means of decantation, these yeasts are moved up to the neck. This shaking process is carried out placing the bottle at an angle, head down, in pupitres, special racks where daily they are given an 1/8 of a turn and a little dry vibratory movement. Nowadays, this operation has managed to be mechanized in many cellars, without affecting the quality of the product. When all the sediments have accumulated in the neck of the bottle, disgorgement then takes place. This job is still done by hand in various companies, uncorking the bottles one by one. But currently, by means of freezing the neck, the operation has been made easier. Finally, depending on the type of cava that you want to get, you can add expedition liqueur, which is a mixture of wine and sugar to give the touch of flavour desired. After this, the CAVA will be ready to arrive in our hands.
CAVA is a delicious wine, fruity, appealing. There are several types of CAVAs. One of the differences is established by the time that the bottle is at rest in the second fermentation. So, we have CAVAs with a minimum of 9 months aging, and the reservas, the word expressed on the bottle label, with an aging of more than 15 months. For CAVAs with a longer aging, there is a special category reserved, the Gran Reserva, specified on the label, together with the year of vintage. In this sense, CAVA is the only sparkling wine which can hold this distinction. It is exclusive to Brut Nature, Extra Brut and Brut, which have more than 30 months of rest in the tranquility of the CAVAs, and which have passed strict analytic and organoleptic quality controls by the Regulatory Council. CAVAs are also classified according to the degree of sweetness, that is to say, from the expedition liqueur added before definitively corking the bottle. Nothing is added to Brut Nature. The Extra Brut has a few grams of sugar added, almost unnoticeable. Bruts have between 0 and 15 grams. Starting from extra dry, the sweetness progressively increases in such a way that the added sugar is more noticeable to the palate. Sweet CAVA, with more than 50 grams of sugar, is the sweetest of the range. On the other hand, in recent years, the consumption of pink CAVA has been increasing. Since 1986, and following the stipulations of European Union regulations, CAVA has been recognized as a quality sparkling wine produced in a specific region and with a legal brand specified for its protection. Current legislation confers on it the category of denomination of origin. The Regulatory Council of CAVA, created in 1991, based in Vilafranca del Penedès, is the body which carries out the functions of controlling and regulating production and quality. The control system is complemented by the distinctive numbering which all the bottles that reach the consumer have to carry, and which are normally specified by the nomenclature of CAVA, or the special mention of Reserva and Gran Reserva.
CAVA has been traditionally associated with parties and desserts, but it is a wine that goes with any dish whatsoever. The cliché, which has become law, advises CAVA as a wine for all hours of the day. Opening a bottle of CAVA means culminating the work of years, of effort, of magic and history. In our most festive moments and the most romantic intimacy, CAVA will be our best accomplice. Only in the fine bubbles that free themselves from the base of the glass and which explode on the surface in an explosion of perfume will you find the soul of CAVA. With it, everything is possible. That is why CAVA moments are always magical.